Hello there and welcome. In today's video, we are taking a look at what happens when you take away all of the smoothness from every driver and every car on the grid and leave it all in the hands of the AI. This is basically the premise of our third season of the Viewer Championship. If you're aware of what this is, it is basically a championship made out of drivers submitted by, well, my viewers. You can find more information about this on my Discord, but it's just a fun little challenge where you see who's the most skilled at putting a driver together, or as it turns out, most of the time, which one of my viewers is the luckiest. So with that said, let us see just how the AI is going to handle this this challenge with no smoothness for both drivers and cars. And if you do find this video enjoyable, please like, subscribe, as that helps me out a ton. And with that said, let's just jump straight into the first race of this 8-race season, third season of the Viewer Championship. Let's get started. We have our first incident, and once again, Gojo is involved. Look at the McLaren.
That's it. That's the spin. And once it started, they were pretty.
That is a decent amount of avoiding actions, to be fair. And then the Sauber says, nah.
And you can just feel. Oh, and the car locks
Oh, Alpine just barely survives the Red Bull attack. Gojo is the first car into the pits here at lap 7. That is very early, and he does opt for a medium tire, which at least is a little bit positive. Should allow for some undercutting to happen here. Both Duck and Nimisuki picked up the damage. It has to be underfloor, suspension, or something. Because if we take a look at this right here, it is not related to any of their components. So it is underfloor or suspension damage. Just looking at that front wing being in one piece. And we have another damage now. What's going on with these three? What have you done to your cars? Alonso does get a puncture. Our first victim of the night. The RB at the start of a lap. This basically shuffles him completely out of contention for points here. And they could also be holding up the McLaren. Potentially here. We'll have to see. Holds up all of these cars. Look at that. Cosby gets free. Haas gets free. But they're all getting absolutely screwed over here by the RB. And now the teammate. Look at that. The teammate got held up and shuffles back into Gojo and David. That is not what you want to see. And everyone here has been held up at one point. But Cosby and the rest here lost so much time due to that puncture that the top 4 here, Petrov, Schumacher, Tanto, and Razak, have been given a little bit of breathing space as a result of that.
The car fails to respond.
That would also not surprise me if you picked up some underfloor damage just skidding over the curb right there. But yeah, Gojo is getting shuffled out completely here. It's not really holding too many people up, however. Playing it very, very nicely here, getting out of the way of everyone. 22 laps for Mortis, 22 laps for David, 22 laps for Razak. Can they pull it out here? As Petrov punctures, the championship leader has picked up a puncture and is now in danger. Luckily, it is at the final corner, so it isn't going to lose too much time. But that is still most likely going to be a podium. Gone. In the blink of an eye here. As Schumacher does the insane thing and stays out as well, while in puncture territory. Schumacher has punctured. Living Duck has punctured. It's all coming to a blow right now. And for Schumacher, that is a terrible place. Same for Living Duck. That is a much worse place than our championship, current championship leader. And Tix right now follows them in, picks up a puncture himself. It has all gotten going here as we see a yellow flag. This certainly helps Petrov's chances quite a bit. Has even got distracted here and locks up. From punctures, and it happened. Kaiser has picked up a puncture. The curse is real. I comment, and you shall, and you shall suffer. It has happened again here, and once again, Cosby is the main victim getting held up. Petrov does another lap here. Tix does another lap here. Dub goes again. Schumacher goes again. They're going to try and survive till the end, like the lunatics they are. But yeah, Living Duck comes in after that lockup. Did pick up some damage as well. Also picked up a slow pit stop. Life does not get any better there for for honorary duck. And Tix now, it's getting close to that puncture zone. And there we go. The Aston's tires have said farewell, sayonara. Tix is going to fall out of the points there. It's going to hold up a lot of cars while doing so. Petrov too has got a puncture, but just like they did early in the race, final corner, so doesn't lose too much time here, but still should have pitted quite a number of laps earlier. Are they still going to be in contention for points there? Maybe. Maybe. Not going to be in contention for a podium, but potentially going to be in contention for points, as we see the cars coming there at the end. Because Schumacher has also picked up a puncture, but he did it at the start of the lap, and that is the Alpine. Just completely washed from this race. No chance of getting anything done. Tix also has a pit stop issue just to add insult to injury there. And right now, Dub is going to be the next potential victim here in the Puncture Championship, so to speak. And Dub does, in fact, get a point in the Puncture Championship. Final lap has begun. Rasek is in the lead. Tanto is second. Monas is third. Master is fourth. We have Haas here in fifth. David in sixth. Nimitsuki in seventh. Cosby in eighth. Petrov in ninth. And then we have the Beans fighting two other vehicles for that final point. Puncture for Monas. That is unfortunate, but not unexpected. And honestly, we could see the same here for the Haas driver. And Master is currently just praying that they get to the end of this in one piece. The Haas driver has puncture. Sorry. Master is just currently living their best life, being extremely lucky. Got through this without puncturing. Rasek takes the win in the first one. Tanto comes second. Master, with tires that should explode at any given second, is going to cross the line in third. David secures fourth here. Cosby is going to get fifth ahead of the Nimitsuki and Haas. Petrov secures seventh. Taz secures eighth here. Kaiser gets ninth. And the Beans scores in their first run here. Unfortunately for the Haas driver here, that puncture did shuffle them outside of the points. Lights out. Away we go. We can't see anything. Decent start for the front row. Decent start for the Salbers. Petrov might do a lunge here on one of them, but it's going to be close. Inter start for a lot of you guys is an interesting choice, to be fair. Look at this. Everyone started on Inters, which makes sense. It is going to be a small dip here, and you do need to manage your tires well. So this might actually save a lot of the wet runners here, but that guarantees that we're getting extra pit stops. But it could be much worse, as Tix now comes in early this time. Rasek is in. Who is going to be the unlucky ones in this? Petrov having a pit stop issue is not what Mercedes needs right now. Still comes out in a good spot here. Tanto has a pit stop issue and gets shuffled down to dead last as a result. Moreno, Kaiser, David, Schumacher now. A lot of cars are getting shuffled, and about 5% use in that first lap in the wets. With Lando Mortis here about to get a puncture. Could actually get a puncture this lap if they're unlucky, which means that Cosby would be held up again by a puncture ahead, which would be funny because that would be the third time, probably more, maybe even the fourth time this season in just 2 races time. And there we go. The puncture is a fact, and held up is happening. They do pass on each side, and while Cosby gets the overtake done, David just jumps into the pits here alongside Taz.
With the RB driver. Let's watch these cars as they head into turn 10. But oh, they can't avoid making contact. But no matter the severity of the crash, it's always good to see the driver emerge unharmed.
The Shaolin Master here could not master the track here. And it's a slow stop there for Mourinho, for Kaiser. Decent enough for the Red Bull driver. Gets away cleanly. Schumacher. That is a clean stop because they do last about 4 seconds. 6, Living Duck, Dub, Rasek, Beans, Alonso, Gojo, Petrov, Mourinho, and Singh here are in the points as we get ready to, well, do the restart here. Let us see if the lead can be maintained. Beans is managing tires. Tix is managing tires. And honestly, it just boils down to your driver's choices. Like, if we take a look here at the lap history, and if we take Beans, for instance, and we take a look at the temperature here, it's being kept relatively cold. 73 degrees is the highest he's gone in, well, probably since he pitted. Now, if we take a look at Tanto, the tire eater, where is he? Am I blind? There you are, right next to him. Running significantly harder, and even look at this, even going over the limit. So, not too surprising that there is a pretty insane difference in the tire wear. It's just, again, temperature into the tires. And again, it's just your drivers being madmen and women. First one, and has a slow stop. That is not good for the Ferrari crew.
Oh no, that's a slow pit stop there.
Takes the gamble. Petrov takes the gamble. Singe takes the gamble. Everyone now is gambling with their lives and with their cars. Beans gets a clean one. I need to change the camera so we don't get epilepsy warnings. Mourinho with a clean one. What about Petrov? That's a slow one. A really slow one. And it's a double stack too. I don't even know how this is going to go. I see a Haas there. Singh did win in the pit stops. Let's just put it like that. He comes out behind Beans, Rasek. Then we have Mourinho, Nimitsuki, Petrov, Tanto, Cosby, David. Nick stays out again. That's the only lunatic out there. Dub is now in the pits here. That is a clean stop. What about Alonso? Clean-ish. Living Duck comes out here in net first at the moment. Dub in third. Beans currently is running second. Well, to be fair, Tix can kind of pit and get out ahead of everyone. Schumacher now in 12th. That, I think, kind of sells it in Aston Martin's favor here.
Now let's take a look here at turn 10. And unable to do anything about that crash. That will have knocked their confidence, I'm sure.
Current champion is out and about in Australia. And with this safety car, advantages get neutralized. The question now is there anyone going to be insane enough to go into the pit lane? It is just 4 laps remaining. Well, 5 laps remaining. So we could see this now end under the safety car. Safety car restart. Is anyone going to bin it? Is Rasta going to be able to hold on with 69% tires versus 82 behind? Clean restart here from Tix, but that Red Bull is not giving up without a fight. Beans is kind of in danger here from Dub. I think we are holding station for the most part. Mourinho here, trying to get Razek. I don't think it's going to happen. Living Duck. Gonna have the last chance basically for overtaking right now. Are you gonna do a full send? Oh, thinks better of it. Not too surprising right there. Razek is able to hold on, and honestly, I think this is going to end the way the safety car left it. Might as well have just done one more lap. Tix wins, Living Duck comes second, Beans gets a podium here in third, Dub fourth, we have Gocho in fifth, Alonso in sixth, Singe in seventh, Razek 8th, Mourinho 9th, and Nimitsuko 10th. No points here from last year's champion Mercedes.
And it's lights out, and away
I
we
see 2 lunatics. I'll see with my eyes 2 lunatics. One in a McLaren and one in a Sauber. Cosby and Dub here have elected to start on a wet tire. That's that's a bit of a yikes moment, I'm not gonna lie. As the Alpines here get a good start, they are going to try and get the 1-2 running here. And they kind of do. They're still finding the Haas for it. But in the end, Schumacher and Mourinho are now running 1-2. Mortis is in third, and 4th, Hans 5th. That is insane that they elected to go for the wet tires from the get-go. And again, those wet tires are done for. And if you look at the graph here, wet into wet, you only get 2 wet tires. This is going to be a spicy meatball. It is now getting wetter on track, but they've already used these tires. They're already done for. There's no other way around it. It is absolutely shafted. At least Cosby is holding up on slow, and David here, they are getting even more shafted because they're getting held up by wet tires. We have cars now coming to the pits. They are going to probably go onto the wet tires, so yeah, it's wild. Alpine, first one to pit here. Living Duck, second one. Cosby and Dub comes in. Are they going to put on new wets here? Is that what's going to happen? Duck has gone to a wet tire. Cosby has gone to a new wet tire. Dub MD has gone to a new wet tire by the looks of it. Red Bull sabotaged their own there. There was also a different car off to the side there, I think. But yeah, that is a hole in the rear wing, if I'm not mistaken. Go, Joe!
Look at the McLaren driver here.
The Red Bulls crashed behind, and Gojo is like, that is a good time.
To do it, and you can't afford to do something like that.
What exactly is going on here with Petrov's vehicle? It's been a terrible start to the season, and that ERS is telling the entire story. They've already replaced the engine, they've already replaced the gearbox. The ERS now has not had a good time. Let's just put it like that. But it's Benalla.
That's the moment they lose it. And it's obviously proving hard going out.
Staying out, that is Cosby probably going to eat another puncture to the face. We need to watch this. Just for the Cosby puncture compilation in the future. Playing 100 defense with wet race DRS, yes. I don't know how you're doing it with a hole in your rear wing. I don't know how those tires are still alive. No, but thing is, and you are behind him, which means he's gonna hold you up. That's what I'm getting at here. And honestly, both Red Bulls might do it now. 9%, single digits, still alive. 8%. 7%. 6%. Finally goes into the pits, but the other Red Bull stays out. That's insane. Dude survived with 7% tires. I think that's a record. Okay, Tixia, you can have a clean stop. Not really. Slow one. Tanto, slow one. Sing. It's still going to be a problem for you guys because I think all 3 of you had terrible stops there. Doc picks up a puncture. Hey, Cosby got by cleanly this time around, but look at this, 17%, 16%. We are going to have a lot of punctures here. Kaiser, next up on the chopping block. Who else is going to get a puncture here? Alonso, Cosby, both of them are going to have a puncture at this rate. There's no way around it. We have another yellow flag here. Safety car this time around. Who has... Duck has retired, as it turns out. Alpine now comes into the pits. Alonso and Cosby, new records for going low on the tires here without a puncture. Are you actually going to get to the end here? I'm sorry that I'm not paying attention to the pits, but there's so much going on. Lando Mortis here, clean stop. The Alpine has clean stop. Nimitsuki is getting held up a little bit by a teammate, but honestly, it's better to, by their teammate, sorry. It's a little better, though, to just get that sorted here. Monas had a pit stop issue, but even so, it is getting very interesting here for sure. We still have 2 cars staying out, but they haven't been collected by the safety car, so they're good. I would assume both of them are going to pit. Yes, there we go. Schumacher comes in. What about Master? 11% here. Goes into the pits. Where are they going to come out? Is going to be the big question here, as the other Alpine is coming through the lanes here right now. Alpine clean stop. What about the RB? Can you produce a clean stop here when it matters? You can. You are still going to come out behind the Alpine. You are still going to come out behind the Haas. But that is 4th place for the RB. 1-2 for the Alpine boys. Lando Mortis in 3rd. Teammate in 6th. Master 4th. Monas 5th. Tess in 7th here. Rassegate, Alonso 9th. Dub in 10th. And for Petrov, it's not going to be good time with the damage here. But honestly, we could see Sing 2 here DNF at this rate.
At this point, and the rear just lets go. Well, the track's condition is making things an awful lot harder out there for our drivers.
The Alpines are crumbling under the pressure, as it turns out.
Now they did leave it very late.
I still think you still retain first, but there's now no gap to the cars behind, and you need to survive a full lap in puncture territory. Schumacher here might have just thrown it all away. That's the Alpine I remember. Damn. Let us pray here for AFN's race that his driver elects to pit with 1.14mm on track. I think, unfortunately, you are going to see another lap being committed to. And it does, in fact, happen. Another lap has been committed to here by Schumacher. Lando now takes the lead ahead of the Alpine. Question is just now, can you survive till the end of this lap? Schumacher gets a puncture. That is, unfortunately, Alpine out of the points here. Well, at least one Alpine out of the points, as he's holding up his teammate a little bit. Track condition is now dry. This is going to really mess with a lot of cars. Holding up Dub there. Holding up Cosby. We are once again asking for a... asking Cosby for a comment here. How does it feel to be held up every single time? Tanto puncture. Now we have to see. If the cars that do not pit right now are going to pick up a puncture this lap. Okay, Master now in danger. The other Alpine now in danger. That's not what we like to see. As both the puncturees comes into the pits here. Master also now picked up a light fault at the moment. We have another puncture. David, the second hit 20%. Straight out. Ticks. Straight out. That is puncture territory again. The pain has begun, and it is without limit. Is Petrov going to score points there just because everyone gets punctures? Tanto, I don't think you're going to survive 18 laps on those mediums. On hards, it's doable, but on those mediums, you're not going to have a good time. Our leader here does come into the pits. Dub MD gets a puncture here. Luckily, it's not too far away from the pit lane. But Haas is going to double stack here. Lando does have a huge gap, though. Kaiser picks up a puncture. Both Astons in the mud here. Slow stop from the Alpine. They are double stacking. They're both parked there. Pain continues. The Alpine survives somehow. Master in second. Monas in third. Tess somehow up into fourth. Ras up into fifth here. I don't know what's going on anymore. Haas is now 6th and 9th after leading coming into the pits. That is not what you like to see. Cosby, the big winner, up into 7th. Alonso in 8th. And Dub retains 10th. But that was a weird showing. That was very, very unfortunate for the Haas crew. And Puncture Alley has been entered by the top 2 here. Soon by top 3. Beans, clean stop. What about Texer, who finally finds his way into the pit lane? Are you finally going to have a good stop here? Good stop. But the top 3 now are all in danger with 4 laps to go. And Rasek is our first victim. Monaz is our second victim. Is Nimitsuki now going to actually take wisdom from this and pit? Or just going to stay out and cause some more mayhem? Because right now, Monas is actually saving a little bit. No, Nimitsuki stays out. That's bold from the Haas. And not what I would have done. Let's just put it like that. As the Sauber now comes in, as Rasa comes in. But they've kind of already been shuffled into the lower point scoring positions here. They'll have to deal with Gojo to reclaim those points, to be fair. Nimitsuki is still alive, but with 3 laps to go, the AI is going to be stubborn. I do believe a puncture is in your future. There's no way around that. The Alpine here is going to try and get the win. Master is in a better position, and the Haas tire has exploded. Unfortunately. Not unexpected, all things considered.
through turn 16. And then the car just goes. Oh, dearie me, you don't
That
want
William just goes on an adventure. What? Tanto now in danger of getting a puncture 2 by the end of this, as Rasek takes fastest lap, but needs to improve 2 places to take advantage of that point. Master, final lap here, leading a couple of seconds ahead of the Alpine. Alonso is third, Tez is fourth, need to protect against Lando. Cosby is running 6th, desperately trying to catch up. Tanto is in puncture territory. Lando here is also going to enter puncture territory before the end of this lap. Tez is going to do the same thing. So we could see some problems here. Gojo now, under 30%. But is Lando going to snatch 4th here from the Mercedes car? Is that going to be something that happens as Tanto gets overtaken? Last corner is coming up. Both cars should be fine at the moment. Master wins. Both cars puncture at the same time. Oh, the Haas has a better run to the line. That is actually insane. That is actually insane. Gojo, did you hold off to 10th? You did. But yeah, that is insane that the Haas go by with that puncture. Master wins. Mourinho gets 2nd here. Alonso gets 3rd. Lando, who had a very important pit stop, gets 4th. Haas gets 5th. Cosby ends up 6th here. 7th goes to Sauber. Beans gets 8th. Tanto gets 9th. And Gojo did a lot of acrobatics and somehow still ended up 10th here. I don't know how that worked out.
Here we go with the Bahrain Grand Prix.
I see a lot of soft. One
Lights out and away
medium
we
runner
go.
there. Oh, there's actually a medium runner further up the order as well. The RB here with the medium. There's actually more medium runners than expected. But yeah, 3 medium runners here. They could actually be cooking because, as we saw earlier, using your long-lasting tires early might be a pretty big benefit. So whoever uses the mediums here, uses the hards, might actually end up coming out on top. It's Cosby. Cosby versus Aston. Just a little bit of wheel banging. Ferrari takes advantage. Spin to win has occurred.
Take a look now. Here we are, we're looking at turn 11. That's it, that's the spin. And there's not much they can do.
Namitsuki pulls a Tyre here, and that could be a puncture now too. That is not what we need, not what has needed. As Living Duck comes into the pits, Namitsuki actually comes into the pits there, so at least the pit crew isn't completely out together on this one. Getting squeezed there by the Red Bull and picks up some front wing damage. And here we go. Pit stops are starting. The final one is here. David comes in first. Onto a soft tire with a slow stop. Tyre onto a soft tire. Clean stop. Still not getting out of here. Beans with a spin.
Here we are then at the 11th corner.
It's going to cause a little bit of trouble.
Spin. And I wonder, could they have done anything about that?
Not the best spin we've ever seen. But it does force you into the pits, unfortunately. And we have both the Ferraris here being buddies again. Less than 10 laps remain here, as we have the Alpine coming into pit. What are you going to do here, Haas? You're staying out for one more lap at least. Clean stop from the Alpine. Not going to beat Sing out, not going to beat the train out here. But with the exception of Living Duck, everyone else should need to pit again, and it's just one car between them. Depending on how quickly they get by, this could change things drastically here. For Namitsuki, what is needed is a safety car, as Sing now punctures their tires. With a couple of corners still to go. Holds up Master, holds up Gojo a lot. Tanto holds up everyone here, really. And Namitsuki does now come into the pits, but it is, unfortunately, way too late here, I think. Hard tires, too. So, yeah, life is weird. WMD with a puncture. There is a yellow flag. Someone is doing some shenanigans. Cosby had a lockup on those fresh hards.
Now we can see what happened. Here we are then.
What is going on right now? Why is the last 5 laps just full chaos every race?
on
I
the
should just
brakes.
16x until we get to the last 10 laps and see how things turn out, because that is when the fun begins. Staying out space stop issue in addition to their puncture. But yeah, Master is in danger here. The other question is going to be, can the Alpine here and Mourinho catch Living Duck? 2 seconds between them, 13% tire difference. Master now has a puncture. Can't really get much more out of the way here. And with that, Nimitsuki is actually back into the points, surprisingly enough. And that is going to be the Alpine overtaking for the lead. The question now is, are they going to be able to keep Living Duck at bay? And it does seem like the answer to that is yes. I think they just barely got DRS down the main straight here. But if they didn't, I think that is the race done. With Alpine getting a win here, most likely. Nimitsuki has cleared one car. Next up is Tix. Cleared just like that. Needs to clear David. Needs to clear Tanto. And then maybe they can catch Kaiser for a 4th place finish here. A lot of things going on at the moment. But yeah, Alpine in lead. Living Duck second. Gojo is currently relaxing in 3rd. We haven't seen any of those signature spins yet. Maybe we'll get one on the final lap. Very worn tires ahead. Kaiser is in danger. Really in danger here. And is definitely not going to be able to hold off those fresh hards. But judging by just how much they were left, again, Nimitsuki pitting 3-4 laps earlier might have been enough to get a podium here. Gets the overtake done. The other Haas gets the other overtake done. Mourinho here wins. Living Duck gets second. Gojo gets a podium by all estimations here. And Nimitsuki does get 4th, which is not the best thing ever. Tess ends up getting a puncture. Are they going to survive the final corner? No, they're not. Nimitsuki goes 4th. Kaiser goes 5th. The other has Mortis here. Lando Mortis 6th. David 7th. Show Marker in 8th. Tix in 9th. And we have a point here for the Sauber. Master gets fastest lap just to spite everyone. The Drivers' Championship now. Mourinho does take the lead in an Alpine. Shell and Master gets shuffled down to 2nd. Living Duck moves up to 3rd with the finish here. And it's still a pretty close fight between these 3. And we have Razak, Cetix Isos, which apparently I made your name the wrong way around, I guess. Somehow. Gojo, Alonso, Nimitsuki, Tanto, The Beans, and then Mortis. Actually, a lot of you guys have the same amount of points, so it's a pretty close fight. If this was the qualifying round, I don't know how it would kind of, well, to be fair, Beans has a podium. So I guess that is the difference maker. But yeah, it would be kind of difficult to separate you all. Schumacher finally scores points. Finally gets on the board here. And Parker Petrov has had pretty bad fall from grace. But a win and then a win in the final race could still turn this around. I'm not going to lie. It's not over until it's over. Constructors then. RB keeps the lead. Alpine is up into 2nd. Ferrari 3rd. Red Bull 4th here. McLaren 5th. Haas 6th. And it's still a pretty close fight, let's be honest. It's just 23 points between 8th and 1st. So Mercedes and Keke or Sauber lacking a little bit. But for the mostly it's been a close fight for everyone else. Clearly Kaiser here, clearly the Williams are both about to cook. The rarest of steaks. They will not bin it into the first corner here. That would be unethical. Beans, Kaiser, Living Duck all get through that first corner safely. We have a Alonso on the medium here. The only one on a different compound. My guys don't really count. And Singh here does have some component damage that we probably do need to deal with at one point. But yeah, Beans here retains the lead for this first lap. At least for the moment.
The brakes couldn't cope. They were just unable to do much about
The rarest steak is being cooked. 8% tires. Are you going to set a new record for going into the pits with the lowest wear tires we've seen? Lockups here are so devastating with no smoothness. 6%. Oh, you survived.
the McLaren that's involved.
It's the other McLaren. That is getting your elbows out. Verstappen style.
And not
And Numitsuki gets a puncture the second they hit 20%. Dub with a puncture. Can Kaiser survive the last few corners here? Or is he too going to join them in Puncture Valley? He joins them. Beans could also be joining here. Petrov could be joining. The grid is getting its big shuffle here with everyone kind of getting in danger. Petrov goes in. Schumacher comes in. David comes in. And Kaiser comes in. Duck and Beans continue their dangerous journey here. Clean stop for Petrov. What about Schumacher? Clean-ish stop. Clean stop, David. Everything seems to be going okay. Living Duck now has that puncture we talked about. Holds up the grid a bit. What can Beans do here? Are they going to survive, or are they too going to pick up a puncture? The party has begun. Are you doing another lap? Oh, thank God. I thought Beans was going to... Oh, no. Master. A moment of silence for our RB-in-chief, who's about to get a puncture here. Beans, clean stop. What about Living Duck coming in for that? There we go. Master did get a puncture. Not unexpected. Alonso comes in. Realizes that those tires are getting dangerous.
there goes the steering. Just
There he goes. The Beans have been sent to Narnia. Singh now has a puncture. Holds up just one Aston Martin, a little bit more than the other. But gets out of the way. Kind of cleanly here for most cars. Oh, we see a puncture down here. Master somehow. Picked up another puncture, have we? Potentially doable. We could still have a puncture here. Cosby is a prime candidate. And the candidate wins. Congratulations, Cosby, for winning the puncture draw here. McLaren? McLaren, what?
down to the pits.
Petrov has a pit stop issue, but we have more important things to look at. What is this, Cosby? Let McLaren cook. McLaren heard that Beans could have needed a little bit of help here and decided to give that helping hand. Beans is currently almost a full lap behind Cosby, however. That is insanity. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, David has a puncture. Both Ferraris have punctures now. They did it in tandem. Alonso with another puncture. It's all kicking off here, as we see the top two here also being dangerously close to puncture. Hand to the sides to get into the pit lane, though, before it becomes an issue. Soft tire there, but a slow stop for the Williams car. It's not what they needed here.
Oh no, that's a
Puncture for the Sauber driver. Schumacher getting another helping hand there, as potentially this Sauber could hold up the cars behind. We'll have to see. Kaiser, you're going to get by cleanly. Kind of. A little bit of time lost. I think there was even some wheel banging there. This Numitsuki now with the puncture. That is unfortunate. That is not what we wanted to see here. And it holds up everyone else. Look at the Alpine here, getting just absolutely boxed in. Singh picks up a puncture. I think this is the track we've had the most punctures on, and we have two more here. Gojo, who did just start another lap. Mortis, who thinks better of it and goes into pit lane. Turns out the AI can only handle one car at a time here, and the other one just gets left to do, well, this basically. With the exception of McLaren, because they can't even handle one car. Yes, let's chase this. Welcome back, Floof. Welcome back.
very heavy on the brakes. They took
I got a
it
burger
down
and a dream.
just to-
That sounds like a good life. But yeah, Kaiser with that lockup now has destroyed those hard tires. Tez now suffers a puncture. Is Kaiser gonna survive? Kaiser does not survive after that lockup. Puncture for the Aston Martin as well. What about Master here? Are they going to pick up another puncture this race? Honestly, we can't know who's going to win because there's just too many punctures about. There's 20 laps to go. And we have another car in danger of puncturing right here. And they're holding up a couple of drivers as well while doing so. That's right there. Not going to go in there simply because the Haas is on the inside just saying, no, you're staying out. I am taking you to the Shadow Realm. 6% now on tires after that lockup. 5%. Are we going to see a 4% here? Oh, 4% was too much. Puncture for Master. Schumacher now. Is Alpine going to throw this away? Is Alpine going to throw this away now? Puncture territory has arrived for the current race leader. Still keeping the car going here. Does have a 15-second gap to second. 25-second gap to third. Should have this one in the bag. As long as they pit. Oh, I thought they weren't going to do it. But yeah, Schumacher does come into the pit lane here. Master comes into the pit lane. There we go. The puncture has become a reality. Living Duck, who needed to pit, has picked up another puncture here right now. It is not stopping anyone here. And Singh even has our first mechanical retiree failure. The Red Bull's not having a good race here. Singh retires with our first mechanical failure, I do believe, in this series, if you will. I don't think those softs are going to survive a full lap here. I think we'll see a puncture in the next corner. Tanto punctures from the lead, but does hold up the Alpine quite a bit right there. Oh, I need my media correspondent here to just write up a little bit of records here. Most punctures in a lap, things like that. Rasek gets the puncture here that we feared. Can Mortis survive this lap, or is the Haas driver 2 going to pick up a puncture here? The other Haas driver 2 is in puncture territory. Puncture for one Haas. What about the other one? Safe for now, but yeah, Mortis picks up a puncture. Not the worst place to do it, though, close to the pits. But still not what you'd like to see. Honestly, probably would have been better for Mitsuki to get a puncture too, so they too would have come into the pit lane as they do another lap here on those worn tires. Beans, what are you going to do? You're in the middle of your lap, so not really anything right now. Alpine supremacy could bore fans, I think. What are Beans doing here? Mitsuki does pick up that puncture. It is unfortunate, but it's not unexpected. What about you, Beans? Staying out for another lap with 15% one tire is lunacy. But yeah, the Haas here are kind of falling apart at the moment. Everyone is kind of falling apart at the moment. What about Petrov? Last year's champion has somehow made it up into 4th here, but is in danger of getting a puncture themselves. And Beans is just cruising with those 13% one tires at the moment. Hey, why am I on softs? Damn. Nope, Sleepy, that is fine. Look, if I get a puncture, please be around at the end of the lap. Well, you can pray. Beans comes in. The Alpine comes in for a soft tire with 10 laps to go. Tyre now, the other Aston Martin living dangerously. What is this plan? Trying to go for the every world record? I love that. Oh, puncture for Petrov. Last year's champion is not going to make a comeback here in Brazil. 10 laps to go. Gets a puncture. Holds up Red Bull so much. And now it's Gojo's turn. Kaiser, are you going to dive into pits right now? You better. You do. Aston Martin not completely full sending it here. As fast as lap goes to ticks at the moment. Tanto now, 70% one tires. The last lap is basically upon us. If the puncture happens there, I can see Tanto get completely shuffled out of the points. We will have to see how long they hold on. No, Tanto actually needs to do 2 more laps. My bad. This is the second to last lap now. Tanto is not surviving this. Tanto did not survive this. The question now is going to be, can Gojo survive this? Can Tix survive this? Can Kaiser survive this? Schumacher might still bin this if they hit that 20% puncture territory. Who is going to survive the final lap? Dubs is not going to survive the final lap. Schumacher, you need to cross your fingers here and pray. 20% lived. Come on, go full attack. Destroy those tires. We want the funny. 19% live. Last corner here. Schumacher is going to win. Gojo with a puncture on the final lap. That is going to be bad for the McLaren crew. What about Texas? Survives with 18%. Schumacher the same. 18% wins. We have a 1-2 here from the Alpine crew. Tix is going to get third here, but further down the order, Tess has a puncture. Tanto has a puncture. Rasik and Petrov could both have punctures, but they finished due to being lapped. The punctures are being saved here by the lapped cars. Who's going to win the race of the punctures? Oh my god, we have a main event here. Gojo. 7th place finish with a puncture. Tess going to finish 8th with a puncture. Tanto going to finish 9 with a puncture. And of course, I don't know what to say. It's been a wild journey. Let's just put it like that. This race.
Their feet in anticipation of this, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It's lights
Emilia
out.
Romagna. Singh leads us away with damage. A damage component here, but at the same time we have Master second. We have the Alpine here trying to make the move, and does actually get the move up into second here ahead of Master. Everyone on either hard or medium tires, and unsurprisingly here, we did see Kaz starting in the pit lane with us after that crash in qualifying. And so I need you to stop chatting so I can see, so I can take a look at the car further back. Let's do it like this. We have the first pit stop here. Petrov comes in for a hard tire. Hard tire for Monas. What for Schumacher? Schumacher 2 gets that hard tire on. And they'll try and stay on that hard tire until the rain arrives, I think. I thought, but clearly I was wrong. He still comes out ahead of the Alpine here. But they are getting shuffled to the back. And you can kind of see just how undercut they've been, as Singh now has their failure evolved to a major one. But yeah, they've been undercut by a good 5 cars here by staying out as long as they did. And you can kind of get the idea that everyone who stays out longer than this is going to get even more in trouble. Those are soft tires. Petrov decides that's a good idea. Soft tires. Are they going to do one final undercut here before the rain arrives? Is that going to be the play? Because the rain is going to be low enough here that I don't think we're getting into this until lap 30-35. It is just going to be light rain after all, which means, again, the adaptability cars are going to have the time of their lives.
Down at Tosa.
Booth returns with the curse, and immediately Schumacher
And there's the
bins it.
And they'll need to be mindful of the effect that had on the tyres.
Booth said it was too easy. He added a little bit of difficulty for you there, Schumacher. Are you going to be able to live with that? Wait, to be fair, it's not that bad. Nah, it's not terrible. Cosby also thinks that's a fun time.
McLaren driver here.
It could be
Won't
worse.
help their chances. Fighting with the
That is not the worst thing we've seen from Cosby so far this season. It has started raining. The rain has arrived, but look at how slowly it's increasing. It's going to take 10 laps or so before it actually gets proper into actual range. First puncture of the day. Cosby could be our second. Beans could be our third. We will have to see here how badly the track, well, is going to devour your tires at this stage. Cosby overtakes one puncture. Oh, the Alpine. Just after they cross the pit. Puncture here. The other Alpine does not take any chances. Is coming into the pits here. Is this going to be Inters? It is Inter tires. It is 55 millimeters. And it is a slow stop. Absolute scenes here. As the other Alpine is struggling here. Nimitsuki now with the puncture. That is not great. I saw a puncture down the road here for Cosby. Taz has a puncture. Beans has a puncture. It's all kicking off now on this lap, and this is where the race will actually be decided, because just how the gap's being formed right now from people being held up, it's going to be wild. Like, Schumacher pitted early, yes, but they're going to have to contend with every single puncture now on their way to the pits. Master gets in cleanly. Rasa gets in cleanly, but we can already see the gaps that started to form as a result. Clean stop there for both of them. Hicks stays out, which probably is good. Can do that with 30% worn mediums. Tanto here with a slow stop. What about Dub? Clean-ish. The other Sauber comes in there, double stack. Mortis with a pit stop issue too. The Haas crew is just not having a good time. And the shuffle here has arrived. Schumacher did pit early, but didn't actually burn these tires as much as expected. Still running fourth, basically net third. So you can see the gaps here now. Master having a 7-second lead on Rasek, who then has a 7-second lead on Schumacher. And for our championship leader, it's down to 17 for him. Not a good one at all. Ticks here, when they come out, should still be in the top 10. Gonna have to cross their fingers so they can make this work. There we go. First set of pit stops are done now for everyone, and Tix is going to come out here in probably 8th by the look of this. It's Gojo and Taz.
The cars jostling for position.
Oh,
Contact between the cars, inevitable.
I love that it just cut away like it was a terrible, terrible crash, but no, they just wheel banged a little bit.
Oh, and the car with a
now have dry conditions, which should mean that we have DRS. And with 10 laps to go, who is going to burn their tires? Who is absolutely going to shred their tires? And is this going to put Schumacher in danger is the second question. Because now the Aston Martin boys can DRS off each other and chase down that Alpine. Dub can get Living Duck. Tess and Petrov are going to try and get Gojo for that final point. Give me the Aston double DNF. Well, we almost had a Red Bull assassination there from the Sauber driver. But yeah, that puts Dub in a scarily low tire wear situation, 36% here.
And the car just locks.
McLaren comes after the overtake before after DRS there, sorry. Picks up now into third. Schumacher has been shuffled down to fourth. Kaiser is not giving any sort of breathing space here neither. This could get very, very interesting towards the end of this. Pedro and Taz are chasing down Tanto at the moment. DRS swapping. So we could see Mercedes take a couple of vital points here. Probably not going to be anything good enough to win the championship, but should be good enough to cause some problems. And Schumacher has actually made it back up into third here. Did Tix have a moment? Track condition has changed to damp, so did it in the nick of time here. And that might be Schumacher securing third with the DRS now closed. Is Kaiser gonna be able to get close enough to get this done, to snatch that fourth place from the Alpine? That is basically the only fight. Oh my god. Schumacher gets dropped down another position here. That is not good for the championship hopes and dreams here. Does manage to come back, however. Kaiser did probably use a little bit too much energy on that main straight. Schumacher manages to get the position back. Taz is still running close enough to the Mercedes, but not really close enough to get anything done. The question just now is, does Kaiser have enough battery to get it to the line? Master wins the race. Rasa comes second. The Alpine does have energy, meaning it's safe. Aston Martin takes third. Schumacher gets fourth. Kaiser fifth. Living Duck gets sixth. David seventh. Dub, even with the worst for wear tires here, ends up 8th. Tanto 9th. And the last point scoring position does go to Petrov here. We could see a short bit on Inters. We could. Everyone is on Inters, and David is even starting on worn Inters here with the amount used in qualifying here. Mortis keeps the lead, Tess second, Rasik third, takes fourth. Schumacher is fourth now, as he gets the overtake on the Alpine. But it's going to be interesting to see just how this race is going to develop, really, I think.
The brakes couldn't cope.
Bobby Monas in the points, no puncture, no pit stop issue, and the race now. Honestly, that is the prayer for this season right there. In the points, no puncture, no pit stop issue, and the race. It's going to be very nerve-wracking here for Master, for Gojo, and for Cosby to see if they can actually make it through the lap here. As Tanto locks up, as Master gets a puncture, Gojo gets a puncture. The pit lane is absolute chaos. So many cars are just running side by side here. Tanto has his own little story here. McLaren with punctures side by side. What a beautiful picture. But yeah, Monas here comes in the pits. Hard tires. Taz, I believe, retains first. Soft tire. Razek, medium tire. Schumacher, hard tire. Monas still on that. Get on a hard tire. Did Dub stay out on Inters? Dub did stay out on Inters. We have Mortis in 7th here. Tix in 8th. David in 10th. Tanto in 10th. David in 9th. And Gojo has a pit stop issue. Did the McLarens get absolutely...
But they run into trouble and it holds up their stop.
I swear the McLaren pit crew is just trying to, you know, demand more money out of the McLaren at this point. We couldn't see what happened there because we only saw the Ferrari point of view, but I assume Tanto ended up on the inside of David. And, well, got that plate shaven down a little bit. Living Duck here versus Aston Martin. Just pushes a little bit too far out. That looks like a carbon copy, really, what happened to Tanto. It wasn't even Cosby's fault. What are you on about, game? That was the Aston Martin driver causing some mayhem there. Ticks causing pain for Cosby as pits now are happening. And Monas might be the big winner here right now. Look at this. Pitted on 98% size. The gaps are probably a little bit too much to deal with. But Kaiser now is living dangerously as well. Ticks gets a penalty. Not unsurprising. Alonso gets new tires here. Mourinho gets held up in the pits again. That is down to basically dead last. That is not a good position to be in. And we have now entered the last 15 laps, which is where punctures are aplenty for everyone. Kaiser has learned a lesson, goes into the pits here. I think Tess just locked up a little bit. Looks like a lot of tire wear vanished at once. But yeah, what can Kaiser do now in the pit lane? Soft, off, medium, on. We're looking. That is a hole in your rear wing. Tanto has that puncture we expected, but they do it basically at the pit entry, so could have been way worse. We have now Alonso running in dangerous territory. At least they allow their teammate by. They might be able to hold up Beans here and give them some breathing space. As the puncture arrives, out of the points there for Alonso, just like that. Tez is going to be the next one on the chopping block, I think, with the puncture. As we are getting closer to just 3 laps remaining here. Schumacher has 70% usable, 3 laps. That should be viable. Maybe. Unless they go full send it here. Then they're going to be really, really sad. Podium show the Bobby, sure. Tez with a puncture. That is unfortunately the Mercedes hopes dashed and squandered here. They could have caught up to Haas today. The Haas even just gives him a little bit of a love tap on the way by. But yeah, that is probably Mercedes well and truly dusted as we see them holding up someone else further back the order here. Final lap has begun. Schumacher has 6% tire to be used here. He is getting overtaken by the back markers. Kind of just showing just how slowly things are going here. How safely things needs to be played. And for Monas, are we going to see an overtake done here on Kaiser? Gets that overtake done at the end of the first straight here. And we have a puncture for Tix. We could have a puncture for the Haas. It's still up for grabs here. 3% here for our leader. 1% for Kaiser. Nimitsuki now in the danger zone with basically more than half the lap to still do. David in danger. Mortis in danger. The other Alpine is in danger. Who is going to be? Kaiser is our next unlucky one, alongside the Haas, alongside David. Are we going to have any other unlucky ones here? As Kaiser holds up the other cars here. But the winner is Schumacher, second place is Monas, Rasek gets third. Kaiser secures fourth with a puncture. Nimitsuki survives for once and gets fifth place here. Master recovers to sixth. Beans gets seventh here, Duck gets eighth. The Alpine scores some points there by overtaking the punctured car. But David is just, nah, you're not passing me. I want that last point. But Singh gets by in the end. And there we have it here in Hungary. Our final order. Okay, Schumacher wins here. Bobby Monas comes second. Rasek third. Kaiser fourth. Misuki scores fifth. Kalinin Master sixth. The Beans seventh. Living Duck improves 12 places from last to eighth. Mourinho and Herman Singh here finish off the points. In the drivers then, Shaolin Master is still in the lead. Mourinho is still in second, or rather, it's still in lead. Shaolin Master, yeah, retains, no. Yes, retains the lead. They were equal. My brain is fried. My bad. But yeah, Shaolin Master retains the lead. Mourinho second now. Schumacher throws their lot into the fight here by getting up to third. Rasek is also in this, but if we consider that is 50 points here for the win, Gojo is in contention if everyone ahead of him does not score points and they snatch fastest lap or pole position. So this could get very, very interesting. Nimitsuki kind of has this very similar potential, but we shall see.
We're now moments away from this.
I'm rooting for the RB. Alpine hate watching in full force. Damn. Double DNF for Alpine. The Haas driver here gets a good start. RB driver Valonslo gets a decent one. Living Duck has gone for a hard tire here, and we see both Tez and Dub on softs. Dub has gone for a worn soft here. The undercut is going to be in full action. And for the rest here, Cosby and Razek. Wait, where did Schumacher go? Oh, down here in 11 now. Schumacher and Razek both on medium tires. Master on a soft here. We have the other Alpine driver on a medium. Master could do an undercut here on these soft tires. Dub is definitely going to try and do some undercutting for sure. Duck being the only one on a hard tire is definitely interesting to see. It's gonna... We'll have to see how that works out for him. Let's just put it like that. If things stay as they are, Living Duck is our champion. Remember, double points. Konevia could also take the championship at the moment. Just needs to peg down Living Duck a little bit. But yeah, double points for this final race here. Shaolin Master, Rasek, then Mourinho. In terms of the teams here, Alpine will still be winning the championship if things stay as they are. But things are definitely getting a bit interesting here. Yellow flag here. David in the Ferrari has been our first victim of this track.
Second corner. There's clear contact there, and they'll have to pick.
Just runs into the wall, unfortunately. I think Tanto is going to get penalized because it just looks like he ran directly into the back of the McLaren there, to be fair. Virtual safety car. Red flag now. Alonso. In the wall. RB might be cooked.
Now this is where the RB driver's involved. Oh, that's where they hit the wall. Well, they may have been keen to leave their mark, but I think that was a little too literal. Don't you?
Yes, very literal. Plastered on the wall, if you will. First red flag, 5 laps into Jeddah. The spectacle that we expected is happening at the moment. Petro with wing damage. Tanto with wing damage. David with suspension damage, I think, because that wing is fixed.
Drivers have taken their positions again.
Soft tire here for the Haas. That is a brave choice.
And it's lights out.
Okay, Nimitsuki, Living Duck on old hards is Not what you want to see. And Petrov even picked up a penalty. Oh, Living Duck here. Another crash. What is happening? Red flag again. Red flag again. I can't see anything. Cosby, what are you doing? Living Duck, what are you doing? Honestly, this is now the next... This is the next thumbnail for this series. This is art right here. Can't park their mates. Plural. Damn. 2 cars had damage and petrol penalty, and then this happens because AFN mentioned that. Well, Living Duck is out and about. I don't know what Cosby has in terms of damage. We'll have to take a look at that. But, yeah. Duck threw away the championship. Still soft tires, still hard tires. Who's going to survive the first corner this time? Cosby still has damage here. I don't think it's the front wing. You look like you're missing... Yeah, you are driving a damaged wing still, Cosby. Oh, time penalty goes to Living Duck. He'll have to carry that penalty into the next season. Petrov does have a penalty. Nimitsuki pulls away nicely. The order now after the mayhem. Nimitsuki first, Petrov second, Cosby third with a broken front wing, which will be holding everyone up at the restart here. We have Dub in 4th, Tess in 5th, Rasek in 6th, Tanto in 7th. We have Lando Mortis in 8th. The Sauber in 9th, I can't remember, I'm sorry. Schumacher in 10th. On old softs, Rasek's the same thing. Both of our championship contenders here have gone out on old soft tires to spice things up even more. How is the standing now with how things shaped up? We can take a look at that. So currently, as things stands, Nimitsuki is the old champion. If everyone holds position, Rasek is going to go second here. And we'll have Master, Schumacher, Mourinho, Certificados, Living Duck, Kaiser, and Kyle. Parker moves up to 10th.
But there, let's have a look at that.
And Petrov claims another victim. Petrov is done playing nice here.
Just flies into that crash. Thankfully, though, they come away from that.
Petrov has been disrespected this entire season. Is going to claim as many scalps as possible here. Interestingly enough, it looks like Dub survived without damage. Those front wings look okay. Schumacher do here. Comes into... Oh! Find one thing wrong with this picture. Find one thing wrong with this picture. This is the most double stack I've ever seen. You guys are inside of each other. I want this angle. At least it's a clean stop. For one of you.
Oh, it looks like a pit stop issue.
Mourinho being absolutely shafted by the crew there. DRS pull, but the Haas needs to pit, and the Haas does come in time here. Dub follows them in. Now the Haas crew needs to finally not shit the bed with the pit stop. Is this going to be the dream? It is the dream. Haas actually has a good stop for once, for a driver that is in the lead. That never happens. And Nimitsuki, after coming out, is still net first. Still net first by a huge margin here, but now needs to get by David, needs to get by Cosby. And this is going to be quite insane. Dub did get shuffled in behind Singh and Rasek. So Nimitsuki now has a chance to break free again, if they can get the overtakes done. If they don't get, you know, shafted and destroyed. But this is huge. This is huge for the Haas driver. Haas actually cooking. They gave you a new front wing. This game drives me mad. There was a red flag. Cosby had basically half a front wing. And the AI, in their infinite wisdom, decided to not give him a new one for the restart. What is this pain? Why is everyone suffering right now? Like, everyone is suffering. Is in trouble now in terms of the championship. Can't secure the drivers. Haas is definitely out of contention for constructors. And Lando Mortis here needs to do an entire lap and did hold some people up. So it's not all bad, but it's definitely not great either, for that matter. Numitsuki, the leader, is coming to the pits alongside Dub. Are they both going to a soft tire, or do they have a medium hidden? Numitsuki has soft tire. Clean stop from the Haas. They've been flawless so far this weekend. Soft tire for the Dub. What about Petrov here? Soft tire for them too. Numitsuki comes out on a one soft tire. That is not flawless. That is my mistake. 10 laps, 80%. Dub in the same situation here. Everyone on very similar tires now for this final stint. But Numitsuki here does have some defense. Tess on slightly worn tires. I don't know how this one's going to go again. This is getting a little bit wilder than I expected. They might need to pit again. They all might need to pit again, is the thing. Razak here does need to get into the pits sooner rather than later. The longer they stay out, the more of a problem they're going to cause for themselves. And for Beans, Beans has already been caught up by the other two. Beans is now trying to slow them down, but only slows down the Mercedes. Allows the Haas to get a freebie here. Playing with fire, if you will. Mourinho is coming into the pits. Master is now currently in a position where if they stay here, they will win the championship. Oh, we have Beans here with a puncture. Kind of what we expected. Is Master going to get held up here, though? It's going to be the big question. No, Master gets by cleanly. Is Beans going to hold up anyone else? Beans hold up Petrov. That is huge for Master. Is Kaiser going to get held up here? A little bit. We have a yellow flag. Someone has spun, locked up, or crashed. Mourinho with a lockup.
Take a look here. Now this, I think, was at turn 13. Very heavy on the brakes.
Alpine almost finds the wall. But yeah, with that, Mourinho now. It's a 59% one tires. This is still up for grabs. 5 laps, 42%. We might have Punctures decide who wins or loses this championship. That could be huge. Cosby now. Oh, that's a red flag. That is a red flag. At the end of this season, Cosby did in fact decide who is going to win or lose this championship. Cosby crashes up ahead, and then that Aston here just can't get out of the way. Question now is who has fresh soft tires and who does not. Okay, there's a medium tire.
It's lights out, and away we go.
Oh no, Razak. 68% mediums. Showmarker with 65% softs. This is basically what this championship was building up to all along. It's amazing. It is amazing. Now let us see if it is a clean start for Numitsuki. Clean start. Dub follows through. Tess has a poor one. Could be mayhem now in the first corner. We've already had it happen once. Time penalty goes to Cosby for... oh, yellow flag at the back here. Alpine in trouble. Alpine in another incident here. Mourinho has crashed on turn 3. Absolute scenes here.
Take a look now. Now we're approaching turn 2. Oh, and that's a pretty big impact.
That is very unfortunate here for Mourinho. That is incredibly unfortunate. The Alpines are not having a good time. Numitsuki leads the charge here. Dub follows in second. Taz in third. Then we have Tanto, Gojo, Master, Petrov, Kaiser, Singh, and Monaz. If things stand as they are, Master takes the driver championship. If Master finishes 9th or below, well, Numitsuki wins. Numitsuki takes it. If Master finishes in their current position, we have an RB champion this time around. That's the reason why there are people at Open Mourinho. Damn. Let us see here what can happen, because desperation, 3 laps to go. Anyone could bin it. Look at the gang here getting ready to full send it and almost get shoved into the wall there. Petrov has already claimed 2 scalps. He could claim another one as Alpine pits. If that is a fresh medium, I'm going to send the Alpine crew to the gulags. No, that's 63%. That makes more sense. Yes. Currently, though, Nimitsuki, 2 seconds up the road. Is burning a lot more tire, though, than Dub. But 2 seconds is a lot with just 3 laps to go. Santo is going to try and get that final place on the podium. Gojo here could also find themselves on the podium in this final race here. Or they could ruin Master's race. Who knows? Fastest lap currently in Nimitsuki's hands. It is double points. That might be 2 points in the bag, but I don't think that is enough. We will have to see here, as things are really getting going here. Tanto up into 3rd. Tez is not going to let that one go, and Dub is also not giving up here, trying to chase down the Haas driver, who is burning their tires quite aggressively here, already down to 56%. Dub is not burning their tires enough, in my opinion, and Tanto gets the overtake done. Dub is playing a little bit too conservative at the moment. They're playing like me. That is a bad idea two laps before the end, unless Dub is going to re-overtake and go full push here. But it looks like they might get overtaken again. Fastest lap currently in the hands of Gojo, in the hands of Petrov, in the hands of Mortis at the moment, nabbing it from their teammate. And with the DRS swap, they've actually caught up now to Nimitsuki. They have caught up. Dub is not giving up, though. How is this final lap going to shape up? Master is up into 5th. Master just needs to not crash on this one, and they will have this one in the bag. But Dub and Tanto are not giving up. They are trying to make something happen here. And then we have the Alpine trundling almost a lap down. But yeah, Dub, are you going to get that 2nd place back? Are you going to allow it to be taken with 20% tire advantage? I wouldn't think so. Gets that 2nd place back. Tanto needs to now defend from Gojo. Gojo has not given up, and neither have Master, who just slips by easily there. Gojo is not going to give it up, though. Gets that place back immediately. What can Tanto do here into the final corner? Not enough. Master also does not have enough here to really send it. Nimitsuki wins. Dub is going to come 2nd here. Tanto is not going to have, I think, enough to get that done on the line. No. Gojo gets 4th. Master gets 5th. Tess gets 6th. Kaiser 7th. Singh 8th. Petrov 9th. And then we have Monas in 10th here. Although Mortis did try the best they could to get that final point scoring position. But there we are. Season has reached its conclusion here. I'm curious who ends up where, because there is a lot of points up for grabs here, as you can see. But because Mortis in that fastest lap, those points are not up for grabs. Driver Championship then. Shaolin Master wins with a good 10-point lead here to Canevia, who scored 52 points there with the pole position. Could have gotten another 2 with the fast lap there. Didn't really work out. The Alpines did find each other here. Schumacher beaten by a single point by his teammate. Rasik ends up 5th. Kaiser beats the other Sir by 2 points. They two being very, very close. Gojo is the fastest McLaren. Tanto ends up 9th in a Williams. And then Kyle here, WMD, with 36 points and a podium in the final race, ends up in 10th, a point ahead of the Living Duck, who was at one point looking to be a contender, but crashed out, unfortunately. David in 12th, Teza in 13th, Mortis in 14th, Monas in 15th, Beans got 16th here, Alonso got 17th, Crosby 18th, Harman Singh is 19th, and unfortunately for our champion of the last 2 seasons, last place here, which means that you will have a chance to redeem yourself next time around. Constructors then. Alpine does actually win the Constructors title here. RB comes 2nd, shared with Aston Martin, 116 points to both of them. We have Haas in 4th, Ferrari in 5th, Williams in 6th, Sauber in 7th, and then McLaren in 8th. It is a bit unfortunate here for Haas. They tried, but the 4th was the only thing they could get with that win at the end. And then we have McLaren 8th, Red Bull 9th, and Mercedes, unfortunately, last here. And that is our standings for this race weekend.